kule broke, suni male sonko. Amengena dog, sizo panda kuzingonsa. Got $1 billion tree. Yeah, I need $1 billion tea. Yeah. So just kule broke, suni male sonko. Amengena dog, sizo panda kuzingonsa. Got $1 billion tree.
Home, your hood, your place of safety, the environment where you grow up, where you learn things, and you are free to be yourself. However, for some and a lot of kids growing up in the hood, in the township, that is not the case. Called names because they're different, or they do things differently to others. They call names like coconutty, scree, on and on and on. Today, to share their experiences, to share about the topic, we have our guest, Ndumi and Ayakha. Guys, please introduce yourselves.
My name is Ndumiso, Mlokoti. I was born and raised in Cape Town. Grew up, my first place that we lived in was Khayelitsha in Bomweni. And then, just by circumstance, my parents could afford to take me to certain schools. So I went to St. George's. After St. George's, I went to Pinelands. And then we moved to Grabo, which was an Afrikaans white neighborhood. And then, yeah, already, but we'll get to that stuff later on. And then we lived there until I did my matric. And then Ndambuyela to Ekukuletu, which is where my mom grew up. And there I also felt way out of place. Until now, I'm an adult, I'm working in the film industry. And, I've moved out the hood. I rent an apartment somewhere in town. So that's who I am.
All right.
My name is Ayakha Makinana. Originally, I was born and raised in Montana. Not the Montana right now, but back then in Montana, where the average white people used to live in, and then that's when we moved to Kelseyville also, and we stayed in Kelseyville for quite some time. Actually went to all white school, never went to any black school in that, but we changed schools also, just like my man here. Nothing more. Yeah.
All right. Now, with you being an adult and in a working place or in a working environment, is it still the same, or now you connect to your kind?
To my kind. So the thing is, growing up, I felt out of place, especially in Bomweni, because my parents weren't the kind of parents that allowed me to play in the streets.
Okay.
So I was always in the house. And then because they could afford to give me these privileges, I had, there was DSTV, I had PlayStation, I had all the gadgets that a young boy would want to just chill in the house.
Sure.
And then I wake up in the morning, the only time I leave the house is to go to a school where I'm just greeted by a bunch of white faces. Okay. So then you start connecting with those kids more than you connect with the kids who's your neighbor who lives just around the corner. And then, you might go to the tuck shop just around the corner because your parents send you, or maybe you were playing in the yard, and then Grootman across the road says, I'm going to energy.
Cool.
So slowly but surely, I started being able to navigate with the people or the kids, in that way. I'll have my bicycle, then I'll be the kid I'm the only kid that has a bicycle, so they're going to be like, okay, accept it. So slowly, but surely, then I have the ball maybe, or the soccer ball, and they're like, okay, cool, let's play with your ball, and so forth. So I connected more with the white kids at school, and then when I came into adulthood, I bumped into a bunch of the same people that, how do I put it? The two worlds connected.
Okay.
Because now you had kids from Ekasi who were hood Kasi guys, and you had your kids from, your bougie upbringing, more privileged, cheese boys, coconuts. Also, now we all meet together, because at the end of the day, wherever you come from, you're all going to end up in the same workplace.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what school you went to, or white school or black school you went to, whatever university you went to, we all end up working together because, the workforce doesn't choose by, where you come from. So then it all started to mix, and I kind of felt like okay, now who do I hang with? Like,
Yeah.
where do I,
Yeah.
you know, where do I, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because now you have your white guys like, yeah, bro, let's go for drinks this weekend. Oh, do you surf? I've never surfed in my life. But people just assume, like, yo, bro, have you surfed before? Blah, blah, blah. I've skated before, so they'll invite me to go skating. And then I'll have my other dudes who will invite me to do stuff like, hey, guys, except, but I'm a summer fit this weekend, let's go to Rands, or let's go check out this place, or, you know, do that thing. And it's still very difficult to mix the two because the two communities at work, they don't really click.
Yeah.
They don't always have the same things to talk about. Even like I work with you, and you'll find that like Amachi that will like almost automatically separate, and then the black dudes will all go hang there together. Not because they don't like the white dudes, but like there's nothing that connects them. Yeah, well, we don't speak the same language, so to speak. Yeah, well,
and have the same interest.
And yeah, we don't have the same interest. The music is totally different. And yeah, so that's where I am at the moment. But I found myself, I ended up accepting that this is who I am. You know, I can't force the hood in me to come out because it was never put in me instilled from a young age. And the sad thing is, Amachita can tell when you're faking it.
Yeah.
So that just makes you look even more stupid.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, the white dudes that I've hung out with, or the coconuts, or the other cheese boys, us as blacks, we've never really been welcomed because of our skin color. So we might have the same interest, we might sound the same, we might dress the same, etc. But then at the end of the day, bro, unfortunately, the country we live in and the history it has, whites will be whites, bro. I'm gonna be very, you know, they'll tell you straight out. Yeah, and that's just the way it is. Whites are gonna be whites, and they are going to remind you about die at the end of the day. And then you also feel like, okay, cool, I guess I'm black. Yeah, I am black. Yeah, cool. And then but I accepted that that's who I am, and I'm not gonna change that. But luckily, what I was getting to is I've met other dudes like myself, like Aya, who are like us, and then we ended up becoming our own little community of, you know, dudes that just hang out together, and we have similar interests, but we also really can relate to the black side of life because our skin color is black. Like that's who we are at the end of the day. Yeah. So that's it was a very long explanation.
No, that's
It was hard to top. It's hard to top that kind of explanation because it is quite lengthy in that. Growing up, had the same exact experiences. Like it was like a reflection to what your similar situation growing up in that. But actually mine, well, I wouldn't say it was kind of worse, but it was just had one more thing into it. Me and my brother is not in this session, but me and my brother actually crashed our first actual schooling. We as grade odd in that we starting in that, and we started in this white school that time, and it was that time was like white school, like this school is so white that we had to walk barefoot, because just to satisfy white people in that, because white people usually like walking barefoot in that shit. And then growing up there was like they treated you different, they made you look, they gave you these weird looks and that. And by that time we were doing great, me and my brother were doing great art, and there was like only five black people there, and five black people. The whole school. And three and the other two of them was us, me and my brother, and then the other three were janitors and that, people that worked there and that. So we were the only.
Wait. So pupils. It was just two black. You and your twin brother. He's a twin, by the way. And then the three other people are employees.
Employees that work there.
Oh snap! Okay.
So growing up, it was like kind of hard and kind of difficult to sort of find anyone that looks looks like you and that, like in terms of like your skin color and that. Even though we bleed the same way, we bleed in that, but like it was like so hard, and sometimes people would look at you a certain way. And I remember we actually got we actually people what's this? I remember the one time teacher actually like there was this one incident that happened in school, and the teacher punished us for like the entire year. Like we like what's this? It was a situation where my brother, I'm gonna tell this is my first time telling it, and I'm telling it live and that. So yeah, me and my brother went to like it was like the toilet. It was we were as kids and we went to the toilet and that. And as you go to the toilet together, boys in one line, girls in one line. So we went to the boys' toilet. The class went to the boys' toilet and that. And my brother accidentally peed in the guy's neck because like, I think it was like I don't know what happened. You can ask that. So yeah, accidentally peed in his neck. So then the teacher found out because the guy was obviously snitched, and then so we end up what's the end of the story? We end up peeing separately. Me and my brother had to have the toilet by ourselves for the entire year. Meanwhile, the rest had to pee. The rest the class peed, and then after that, then we had the chance to pee in that. So that's how I remembered it, and it's funny. It's funny that I can still remember it like it was yesterday. It was just crazy in that. So that's how our similar situation grew up. And growing up, we only had DSTV and that. So we didn't have games and that, but we had watched a lot of TV, and our mom used to go crazy because we didn't used to eat food and we didn't eat as much and that. And she knew that the only way to get control of us is to switch off TV, and so she used to switch off TV just for us to eat food, and we eat fast. And then as soon as the TV, because she would switch off the TV and we eat food, because you know that now listen, we have to do a chore, we have to eat or something, and then once the TV is on, then we just watch TV and that, and that's how our situation kind of grew up in that. Like we grew up like that. We didn't have friends. We didn't go out as much because everything that we needed was in comfort in the house. So we didn't.
And plus, you guys are twins, so you never needed anyone outside.
Yeah, we didn't have anyone to talk. We didn't have because like we had people to talk to and that which is ourselves and that. So we didn't have anyone to talk to and all that. So yeah, that's how.
And your engagement with outside of your home, navigating the hood, how is that for you?
Right now or back then? Right now is actually I would say it's actually it's better. Like it's good right now. Like I have to say.
How's it different from
back then?
Yes.
It's well, back then we didn't have no social life. In terms of like going outside, we had no social life. I don't know, probably we had friends or two, but we forgot some, or probably they weren't friends, probably just using us for the money and all that. There were times that people used to call us cheese boys and all that, because we would stay inside and we wouldn't go out as much and that. But compared to right now is that is we still indoors, but not as much. But not for me.
Yeah, speak for yourself, because your brother's always at home.
Always at home.
And he still doesn't eat.
Yeah, he still doesn't eat. He's actually skinny. You should
Oh my god.
But but for me is that like I sort of found a way to go out, like a sort of a formula for me to go out, and that's through sports and that. So yeah, playing sports and that got me. That was a way for me to get access to go outside and that. And my mom would always say, and also I had the same experience, sharing the same experience. My mom didn't want me to go outside because she was afraid that we might get robbed and might get that human trafficking was a huge thing back then. So yeah, but through sports I learned to navigate my way, and since I was a lot quicker and a lot stronger than the others because they were white and I was black, so in a way I was more athletic than them, so that helped me, and that's why I love sports like basketball, because basketball I was usually the tallest in my class, and so people so people used to count on me, and that's how I learned to communicate through basketball and that. But like if you had to talk about life in general, then it's sort of non-existent in sort of way. Yeah. So yeah.
So with Ayakha, I want to ask you this, language-wise. I know both of them pretty well. Right? You hardly express yourself in isiXhosa. I spoke to your mom. Your mom speaks isiXhosa all the time. Yet you speak English.
What's this? It's funny thing is that because my mom was just growing up, like we used to speak okay closer and that. So yeah, growing up in that until we applied to the pre-primary school that we attended, the Reiterwach, and that's when my mom was like very keen on how to learn language. She was like pushing us to learn English. She would try and push us to learn English. She would let us watch only English shows and she would only speak English with us because I grew up with a single mom for majority of my life and that. So yeah, learning English, so we had to learn English to the fullest.
And that's what that was for educational purposes, so
that
that you guys are in par with your classmates. But you guys went and took it as this is the bar. For you, Ndumi, was it the same thing when it comes to language?
So, bro, so my dad took me to a creche in Mandalay, which was still predominantly colored. Now Mandalay is like mixed. I haven't been in a very long time. But
that's diluted.
It's very diluted. Some Soto, color guys, it's all there, right? But at the time it was very, very colored. But they spoke English. Cool. So I picked up English there, mind you. I'm probably about 3 or 4. So and then my parents are speaking isiXhosa to each other. Both my parents now close. And I'm the firstborn, so I'm obviously just gonna pick up what they say. But at age 3, I think what age do kids start talking? Like around 2, they start picking up words.
Yes.
So by 3, I haven't really picked up as much from my own parents, and I'm already being thrown into an environment that I'm at every day from Monday to Friday. From 8, I think they would pick me up at 4. So that's, I don't know how many hours that is, like 8 hours.
Yeah, someone will do the math.
Yeah. So that's 8 hours, and then I come home, they pick me up, and I'm with them for a short while before we need to go to bed. So you can imagine now, I'm being exposed to English at creche, and then I'm only being exposed to isiXhosa for a much shorter time period, and then the weekends, of course. So then from there, that was age 3 to 4, age 5, they took me to St. George's Grammar School has a prep school for kids that are still in like grade R, but ready to go into grade 1. So they start like accepting kids from that age already, so around 5. So then I went to that school. Still very English. Now it's even whiter. It's not a colored school. This is like, I think the school was founded by British people, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Our headmaster, Mr. Hart, he was also a British guy.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm going to this environment now. Now it's even worse. I'm speaking like English through and through, everywhere. And my mom will tell you the story where I think after about a year that I was in that school, she remembers we were going shopping somewhere, and I was like being a spoiled brat. Mama, I want this. Mama, I want this. Blah, blah, blah. Mama, I want this. And then the cashier was like, whose child is that? Blah, blah, blah. But it's close.
Sure.
And then I come running around the corner, and I come running to my mom. And then the cashier's like, yo, I was expecting a white baby. I was expecting a white baby,
Yeah.
So, but that was like normal. But now here's a very toxic thing we have as black people. They were all proud of that. From the cashier, to my mom, to everyone in the community, when they hear or see a black kid articulate themselves like I feel like and it's that internal self-hatred thing that we do where we aspire to whiteness.
Yes.
We feel like anything that is white is good. Okay, if you can speak English properly, wow, he's going places. This kid is smart. Yeah. And we associate speaking English with intelligence, but it's it's got nothing. It's just that you learn the language, you know. You get very, very smart people that have never spoken English in their life.
Yeah.
But anyway, so in a way, I was gaslighted at that young age to like, they were gaslighting me up. They were gassing me up like, yeah, bro, you speak so well, blah, blah, blah. Get into grade 1, get into grade 2. I haven't lost isiXhosa, but I don't speak it as often. At home now, I respond to my dad in Isingesi. I respond to my mom in Isingesi. My sister was born when I was in grade 2, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, when I was in grade 2, my sister was born. And then even to her, like, Teketisa, in Isingesi and so forth. This is where it hit my dad that, okay, flip, he think like, okay, he fucked up. We were raised as Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Yeah.
So there's this thing called Bible reading where you need to go stand. They're kind of grooming young men one day to also be elders in the community, in the congregation. And then, sorry, cool. And then, what was I going to say? Oh, so now I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness, so there's this thing called Bible reading. Now it's my turn, this one Thursday, it's my turn to do the Bible reading. But we're in a black congregation.
Okay.
Yeah? We're in a black congregation. Just toss that up, but I'm only there like Thursdays and Sundays. Fine. They give me the chapters that I'm going to read, and you get to prepare for it like 2 weeks ahead of the time. Sure. It's my first one. Usually people start at the age like 9, 10. I think I was 8 when I started it. Cool. So as I'm reading it, and I just realized, dude, I don't know what these words are. Like, I really don't, like, I can't. And my dad trusts, like, no, he can read it, cool. He just gave me the scripture and he said, I must go practice. So a day later.
Hold on, just for clarity. The script is in isiXhosa.
It's tossed. So a day later, he asked me, so like, how's it going? Have you started practicing? I said, Dad, I can't. Like, no, like, I wouldn't go me level G and Q. I don't know what sound that is. Oh, fuck. So then he realized, I was just from this class. I'm like, no, I mean, I know things like Ika, Malam, you know, because that's fairly simple, you know, but then once you're getting into the clicks and then the X and then you get words where a T and an S and an H are right next to each other, like, what do I say with it? What do I say now? So then he started like really like making me practice isiXhosa sound, and then he asked a cousin of mine, Okulele in the Eastern Cape, to come live with us, and he was like, yo, listen, I just want someone also Ndumiso full time for about Asa's closer. Because one thing about my dad, even though he worked really hard to get into a life of financial privilege, he is sick, or he doesn't compromise about that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? So he wanted me to learn the ways of the West and to speak like them and to be able to navigate that society, but also not forgetting Monday and class at the end of the day. So he was very disappointed in himself, not in me, when he realized, but oh shit, my kid doesn't can't read his class. Like, it's also on course on time, you know what I mean? So
it's not your fault.
And it wasn't my fault, and that's what I liked about it. Like, he understood, but no, it's not his fault. It's just something that I mean, it's not my fault. It's something that he instilled in me at a young age. So eventually, that's how I started learning isiXhosa. But now get this. Oh yeah, it's Omo, which is Ikailet in the Eastern Cape. They can still tell. But
of course.
Nah, bro. You know?
Of course.
And not only is he from Cape Town, but Paika, I'm sure he only chose with white kids. And it's even still now in my adulthood, where I worked at a call center, and this other dude, like, he said to me, his name's Aldridge, shout out to Aldridge. He says to me, yo, Dumi, you know, when you speak your language, you don't sound like the others. And he's saying it next to another friend of ours, Ziana. And then Ziana starts laughing, right? And then Ziana's like, what do you mean? And it's like, I don't know, like, I don't understand the language, right? So I don't know what you guys are saying, but I can tell that when he's speaking it, it's not the same as when you're speaking it. And I was like, yeah, dude, this is, as long as you understand what I'm saying, and I understand what you're saying, I'm cool with that, you know. I'm fine with that, and then obviously I'll just keep learning other words as I go on and so forth. But eventually I got to pick up isiXhosa like properly, and there's still some phrases that I don't know. Like we were talking about certain foods at work just a few days ago, and this guy mentioned something that I've never heard of in my life. I can't remember what he said, man, but it's got something to do with inyama and aparati, you know. Like, bro, I don't know what that is. I was, oh yeah, you don't do it. And then he calls his other friend, hey bro,
yeah.
and things like that, bro. I don't like that stuff.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I get it's humor and it's good natured. You don't mean to bring the person down, but it's embarrassing at the end of the day, you know, because you pride yourself in trying to be mkosa, but every now and then you get someone who's gonna remind you about you're lacking here or you're lacking there. And then that's what makes us these outcasts. It makes us not identify with, you know, we live here. Our family lives here. Our friends live here. We have, you know, and bro, we enjoy the music. There's something natural about enjoying Ikwaito as a black person, even if you're not really a Ikwaito fan. But bro, you can't lie and tell me, I don't feel it. Me, I'm all about Eminem. No, you're lying. Like there's something nice about it, you know. But then you get into these spaces, but you still feel awkward because they will remind you about, oh, I cheese boy there,
And we always do this to him, myself and Uluto.
Shout out to
You guys will get to know Uluto later. He is on the background. Whenever he says something, like he used to call me what? Tamasi. And I didn't. To me, with the Masi, cool, I got that. Uluto yena kept hearing it, and we laughed at it. We made fun of it. And this is for me.
What's the surname? What's my surname?
Yes. He can't say Makinana. He says Makinana.
It's.
Do you understand?
It sounds Irish. McKinnon.
For me, before this became a problem.
Oh man.
I didn't pay mind to it, right? And then as Uluto is mentioning this stuff, then it became a problem to me. Because for him, he's still young. For you went through that stage, right? And he doesn't have a nigga from Eastern Cape coming to see with him in his class. And I told him, when you're in my house, there's no English. And it's his plaza.
That's why I don't like visiting.
No, I picked that up as well, but you know the visits had gone down to 0. But what I'm trying to get at is, how do you now? Because obviously you're comfortable with who you are and with yourself. As much as that is, and it should be like that, you are going to be in a crowd. You are going to be surrounded by people. How do you then lose some of who you are to accommodate the people? Or like you say, when guys say these things, they're embarrassing. So you already know okay, now when I'm surrounded by amajita or my skin color, amajita lugile, there's these things that gonna happen. So it's either you're gonna prep yourself or you're gonna remove yourself.
I don't remove myself. I've had to just in life in general, you can never, there's no growth if you keep running away from things that make you uncomfortable. Like, if you want to be a better person at anything, in places where you are uncomfortable. Because if you just keep running away from things, like, how long are you going to run away from the situation?
As you say, it's because of
you know what I'm saying? So you have to tackle it head on, but then this is something I only learned in my adulthood, that you need to be very honest with yourself. And then once you're honest with yourself, it's a lot easier then to accept who you are. And what I've realized is, it's hard. Do you know the movie 8 Mile? When Eminem, he's about to battle rap this other dude, and then he comes in, and then he starts dissing himself
first.
And he mentions all the things that this guy can use as ammo on himself first. And now this other dude doesn't know what to say anymore, because Eminem has accepted, like, yeah, cool, I'm a trailer park trash, blah, 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 I've got this and that, you know, and whatnot. So you can't use it against me. So that kind of philosophy is what you need to do with yourself, is zithande qala, regardless of how flawed you are, or where you come from or whatever the case is zithande and be proud of the fact, like, cool, this is who I am, accept it. Ne? And then once you accept it, you then go tackle those situations head on and stand there proudly like, yeah, cool, this is the kind of person that I am. I grew up like this, I speak like this, I'm into this and I'm also into that, but I'm not going to just change myself to accommodate you.
Yeah.
If you don't accept me, there's a group of people that are going to accept me somewhere.
Yeah.
However, it is sad that now I can't be as tight as I would like to be with you because you're my brothers at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And those people are my brothers. But like I said, I found a community of my skin tone where we all are alike now. And Kasi guys are also now slowly, coming towards us. And we're gelling quite nicely.
Yeah.
And here's an example I'm going to use. Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, you know him, right?
Yeah.
I know.
Young Thug is from ATL, right?
Yeah.
Future's from Atlanta, T.I.'s from Atlanta, the Migos are from Atlanta. You see how those guys are. Like, they're very streets. Like streets. And then Donald Glover, also from Atlanta, but I would classify him as someone like us who probably went to white schools. He doesn't sound like the rest of them. He doesn't dress like the rest of them. His music is so completely different. But he's also part of like the hip hop culture now. Like the world and Atlanta have accepted him as, he's also representing us in his own way. I'm going to use Tyler the Creator as another example. Hip hop has now also accepted that, listen, they're black too. They're different. They skate. They wear different kind of clothes. They wear Vans and whatnot. They wear skinny jeans and all of that stuff. But they're black, so the community has slowly started to accept them, and I think it has evolved much quicker there on that side. So, but I mean, I've never lived there, I've never experienced what it's like to be there, but that's what I'm just seeing from far. So I'm hoping and predicting that one day, and I think it's already starting to happen, where we will also have those kinds of relationships where we can have our hood guys coming out of the hood, and you're more like Donald Glover kind of guys coming also coming out of the hood, but having that respect for each other and being understanding. But no, at the end of the day, you're still my brother. You know what I mean?
The most important thing is the respect for each other.
Yes,
honestly. Yeah. Because once even the two meet, there needs to be a certain level of respect. For you, Ayakha, I want to quickly ask you, what was the one situation that got you down and got you doubting yourself because of what someone else did or called you that you can think of?
I can think of just. So I just want to repeat the question again.
A situation where Abantu dissed you or said anything to you regarding you not being hood or you not being from the hood that got you down and even doubting yourself.
I would like to use this example. Not too long ago, I think a couple of weeks ago. I recently just joined this rugby team. I play rugby also. I recently joined this rugby team here at Kalich and that, and I remember just going there, and I thought to myself, nah, listen, I'm just gonna go here, just be different, like just be like an average black person, and not. But I won't say anything. I'll see if they will tell if I'm a coconut or not. And going there, I was cool and all, and I think they said someone tried to talk to me about something. I think at one of the plays, but like for me, I only knew like the English, English version of my position and that. So like someone said I still don't know the word like Tuesday. What he said. I think it was the position I play in.
Which is
lock.
Okay.
Lock. I think he said something with the position. I think he told me what position do I play in rugby and that, and then I was saying excuse me, and then he says he went to go tell his friends, and his friends were like laughing at me. I don't know was it. I don't know why he said in that. But then ever since then, those guys try to communicate like with English. They try their best, even though they're not as good in that as me in that. But like they try their best speaking English with me, and it's like for me, I just wanted to go there and just play the sport I wanted to play, the sport I love. Beginning to love in that, but those guys had to sort of like promote me into speaking the language that I'm used to hearing, which is English and that. So yeah, that was the real problem in that.
And for you,
It was a girl. So I don't know about you, but ukulita amachera sekasi for me has always been a challenge.
Oh,
I
can't. No, I can't.
And it's and yeah, bro. So I meet this girl. We're in Long Street. I was still like probably around your age. Talking. I'm with my bros, you know, talking, and then I see her from far away. Go say hi, and she responds in English because I went approached in English first, you know. And then she speaks to her one friend in his class, like proper fluent class level. And then the more they talk, the more they just like they just class.
sure.
So now me and my bros, I met this guy, he's still my best friend till this day in Krobo. And we were the only two black families in that white area.
Sure.
And that's how we became friends, and we just grew up together like that. And then I moved, he stayed in Krobo for a while, but we still stayed in touch with each other. But anyway, so now we are those kinds of guys who, we're black, but like, we're the coconuts and the cheese boys of the squad.
Yeah.
And then he comes up to me and goes, hey, bro, I don't know, man. I'm like, what's wrong? Like, I'll take this one, you can eat that one. Like, it's gonna work out. He's like, nah, bro. And then, but another thing, he's not Mxhosa. His mom Mxhosa, but his dad Ngumtswana.
Oh.
So already there was that issue for him.
Okay.
And he never picked up both languages very properly.
Oh.
He speaks them, but you can tell, but
He's not.
he's like, I don't want to say confused, but he's had to deal with 3 languages his whole life, English being the most important one.
Yeah.
And then even his mom is like, she went to study in the States for a while and then came back here. So he was raised in that kind of environment.
Okay.
He, like Naledi Pando. Like
Okay.
she speaks like Naledi Pando here. So he's like, hey bro, no dude, I'm not sure if I can like, let's just find someone else. I'm like, bro, these chicks are hard. No. It's like, nah dude, I'm not really sure if I can talk to them. I'm like, wow, what's wrong? Like, I was talking to this one right now. I'll be wingman, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
So we come back in and we start talking again, and we come with our English again.
Yeah.
Not reading the room, good you know, man. But these chicks are not like us.
Yeah.
Yes, they might, because of now we're in our adulthood, or maybe we're in college and we now get to mingle with a bunch of other different races. Their English doesn't sound like they didn't get access to English. You can tell which they got access to English, and they can speak it and they understand it properly, fluently. So the one, not the one I was talking to, the one that he was going to talk to, right? She goes to the friend, you are sugar, it's cheese boys, is it? No, tell you that goes not to just toss on. But now, it's one thing to be shot down by a chick. Like it's cool, it happens, and then it hurts you.
Yeah.
But now I'm being shot down by this one thing that I always got like
Shut down.
with as my childhood. I was like, yo, and then he just you know, he was like, bro, she's right. I can't. I can't. I don't know what to say. Like, let's go, bro. Let's just leave. And then that's I was really embarrassed, bro. Going home, not I ended up mingling with other people and having fun and just enjoying my nights, and I forgot about it. But like later on, I realized maybe that's why I haven't really been dating in my culture, so to speak. Like my mom would tease me, goes, "Yo, when I was partying with Mlokoti one day, and I just like she was like that. Like she's gonna have to come learn. I've been Mlokoti and all that stuff. And yeah, man, it was. That was like for me the turning point, or the moment of realizing, but okay, this thing is not affecting how I date as well, and it's gonna affect how my family also looks one day, or whom I date, or who I marry and who I bring home. but you're telling me like, oh sis mom, like from the hood, like my pretty sisters, I can't, like I'm struggling to connect with them on that level.
Yes.
And yeah, and it felt, it's whack, man. It felt whack to, it made me feel small to know that, yeah, they want hood niggas. I want a Kasi boy.
Now, what would you say to your then self?
Yeah.
Now that you know and have all this information, what would you say to a younger Ayakha?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell him, you don't change yourself or don't try to change yourself because of situations like that. You know? Take it as a learning curve. Whenever something like that happens, you're gonna grow and you're going to meet more people and you're gonna learn more things as you like. Life in jail is just a journey of constantly learning and growing. Yeah. So if you're being shot down by a girl because you're not street enough, or if your homies on your team are teasing you because you don't understand certain words they use, that's cool, because now where I am, or where you're gonna end up, is in a place where, like, it's gonna sound cocky, but girls come to me now. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna get to a place where you have access to women if you wanna just have fun a little bit, and you're gonna find your person, and that's like, especially when it comes to love, you're gonna find your person, you know, and there is always someone out there who's meant to be with you, who is like you, or who understands you. In the current relationship that I'm in a very committed relationship. She's not a coconut or like a cheese girl, but like she got access to those kinds of schools, but Kulele Kasi her whole life. And actually, she's the one who's now teaching me a bunch of other things. About, you know, like even the songs I listen to. I never thought I'd be like a huge fan of the piano, bro. But now, like, I'm influenced by her, and I use certain slang Yasekasi because of her. And then, like, vice versa, I teach her a couple of other things that she looks at and goes, yeah, bro, that's so white. But okay, cool. Well, like, she'll hear me talk about something and he goes, yo, Khalil. But okay, cool. So I think it's about finding someone, or finding and loving yourself first, man.
Yeah.
You're going to end up loving yourself, and then you're going to meet other people who are going to be chilled with who you are. And not just romantically, but homies as well. Like, you're gonna meet a homie who's gonna say, like, there's a dude, I don't know if you know him, but he does VT. Man, I'm forgetting his name. I wanted to shout him out. But now, flip, I'm forgetting his name. But anyway,
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. But he is Kalicha through and through.
Sure. When you find it, I'll put it down in this segment.
Okay, sure. All right. Sure. He's Kalicha through and through. And he would tease me, but in a loving way. But, cheese boy, no, coconut. But we're homies now, bro. Yeah. Like, that's my bro.
I think I have that same experience with also Bluetooth. So
yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it goes back to what I was saying, but like the acceptance of us non-hood niggas with hood niggas, it's respecting each other. Like, that's the advice I can give you. Be patient and understand that not everyone is going to be for you. Outside of being a cheese boy or a coconut.
Yeah.
No matter wherever you go in life, there are people that are just not going to. And it might, I'm going to touch on a different topic slightly, but it might even be a thing of, there's jealousy also in this. Yeah. Remember when I said, like, people were clapping hands, like, oh wow, he speaks so well. Yeah. But there's going to be niggas that are jealous of that.
Yeah.
Because they don't have access to that. And that's just something that is in our community as a whole. The moment one of us, we see about, okay, he's elevating, he's got a nice job, or he bought a house, he bought a car, or he's doing this and that for his mom's house. Come on, you know? Not just between us as like Amachido or the same age group, but it told me mama wako will be jealous of you because of the things that you're doing, you know what I mean? Because her kid's not doing that. So there's that thing also in our community. So you just need to understand, but that just comes with any territory, in life, wherever you go. Okay. So the quicker you learn that and accept that, and when you just keep moving forward with your own purpose, and I think that's another important thing. You need to know where you're going. what kind of life you're trying to live or lead, so that if Utibana Nomda knows about you, I don't want to cuss you, then cool, fine. Then you were not part of the picture anymore.
Yeah.
You're not part of the journey. I thought because you were cute and pretty, I thought you come say hi.
Yeah.
And then when I realized, but when we started talking, we just didn't click. That's cool. Move on. Don't take that and personalize it. You know what I mean. And I think I did that a lot, especially in my teenage years. I really took it personally. But fuck, there's something wrong with me. I need to be more hood. I need to be more hood, bro. And then you're trying to hang out with your. It's so fake. You can just tell when someone is trying to be hood.
No. What would you say now? The community is listening. The community is watching.
Yeah.
What can the community do for outgrowing niggas like you, so that they also feel part of the community and not feel so outcast? I know there's no magic wand that we can just
I wish there was, but no.
So what can happen? What would you guys like to happen on a community level where we can then say, but you know what, abantwana bethu aba nabo bayafana nani bavuka esitratweni esiyi-1 umgqomo ulandwa ngexesha elinye. Abanye, they ride in the same bus to school, they wait in the same bus stop, they buy in the same taxi Somalia as their kids, just because that their parents can afford better schools, or bona they can pick up English faster or more fluently than others. Where would that conversation start, or how would that look?
Need a moment. Deep question.
Because at Kodele, we need to find a common ground, and it must not start when someone is 26 or when someone is 27.
Yeah.
Because other kids are not so lucky to. Some people commit suicide
because they were never
accepted. Abanye go into the wrong friends and go into drugs. I remember growing up as the niggas that could afford that were on drugs, not the niggas that can't.
Exactly. You're right.
Not because they wanted, but they wanted to fit in. No, it's cool, guys, I'll bring them. It's cool, guys, I'll bring the alcohol type of thing. So that they can be one with the people that they wake up next to. Because as much as we go to school Monday to Friday, at the weekend, we all chill together.
I think it should start with parenting. If I don't have a kid yet, but the way I would like to raise my kid is to, I don't want to remove them from, no, let me start again. It should start at how we look at ourselves as Black people. And we have this divisive mentality that was given to us during the apartheid years, where the moment there's one thing that is different, we want to point that out and pick that out. And and then the moment something is associated with umkhobe or with English, you want to hold it to a higher standard. So I think if we could get to a place where, like Steve Biko said, where we Black consciousness is, I don't care where you're from. If you're Black, you're my brother, and I hold you higher than anything else. But not in a Black supremacist way, but you're my brother. Yeah. I'm not talking about whether we're Tanzania or from Zimbabwe or Somalia or from KZN or from Bloemfontein or from Kalicha. If you're Black, we have this common thing that we have lived through during our apartheid. And I hate to make it about race, but I think really it roots from looking at whiteness, looking at English as the better thing to be.
Supremacy. And
now it filters then down into all the other things. So now Black guys who aren't so proficient in English feel inferior, or Black guys who are very proficient in English feel superior, or we look at a Black guy who has all this access towards like in white things of life, and someone about, oh, I was Pagamisile,
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff. But I think all of that comes from the idea about into enokwenza nomuntu omhlophe okanye enokwenza nesingesi isibambela pha sibona uba yo, this is, we must strive towards this. But if we look at just our black skin and accept that just because we are black, that is enough reason for all of us to hold each other close by, and we can lift each other up. I don't care,
Sure.
You know what I mean? But if you have a skill and there's something I see in you that is like, that is a light, like you have a light in you, whatever it is, you know. Like on a taxi, and that like happily volunteers his taxes up for things that the community needs for, you know what I mean? That is the guy that, you know, we must lift that man up and respect him and go back to our roots, because very to like, I don't know if you agree, but like as black people, we really put before anything else, like Sinobuntu, like and you know, we have humanity.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
And I wanted to raise this with Ayakha since he's younger.
Yeah.
Ayakha, what do you know about Ubuntu, or what is Ubuntu?
Like how do I define Ubuntu?
Yes.
For me, I define it as like you, like no matter what race you are, no matter where you come from, what's your background and all that, I feel that we all, we all unite, like in some way we all united together. Togetherness is all about togetherness. That's how I know Ubuntu as. Yeah.
Because from what you're saying, Lumi, I'm taking the part of humanity. Because at Kobeleni, we need to see each other as Ubuntu.
Yeah.
More than what you can afford, or what I can't afford, or what I can't bring on the table, or someone else can bring at the table. We start at the bottom level and seeing each other as equals, and seeing each other as humans at the end of the day.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, in all of that, that's where that respect then comes in. Uguti, I don't care about your accent. I accept you. And even further to us about closer, it's supposed to be, if we know that, take it back just first. Uguti we know that, and you went through what I went through, so I need to understand you from that level, not from what you speak.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So that needs to first come.
Exactly.
And that's why Ayakha Mundana, he's my son. I look at him as my son, as one of the people that I want to raise, so that when my kids, because he's older than my kids, so that when my kids grow up, they have someone to look up to, or they have someone that's going to look after them. And now if we're destroying each other, who's going to look after the next generation?
Exactly.
And that's where we need to start with. And that's where we would like to end this one.
Bars.
That. All right. Do you have any questions for Ndu?
I have a question. How was obviously 18th and you have to go? Did you experience going to the mountains?
Yeah.
And how was that? Just tell me, how was that?
Bro, so this for me was a very weird story. Can you believe that I had to convince my dad to let me go do it?
What? Is it, wait, hold on. Is it first because you said you Landoka?
Bro, my dad confused me that year. I was so confused because growing up, we're Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yes.
So Jehovah's Witnesses, anything that has got to do with Isiko, they're like, no, it's barbaric and blah 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 blah. And now, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I was raised in my mind, but okay, I'm probably not gonna go there. You know what I mean? But then you hear my cheat guys talking. I'm not a fool, whoever. So want to, you know what I mean? But now I'm being surrounded by, like, I have my dad who's like my hero, bro. I love that man to bits. He did so much for me. Who's like, nah, he's on the fence about it. But then eventually, so then my parents split up.
Okay.
My mom becomes a very traditional Xhosa woman, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's like that now. We're slaughtering whenever we're giving thanks. We're slaughtering something, you know what I mean? And whenever we're celebrating, we're slaughtering something. Like, she's like that. We are in Kwanzaa. yeah, Tanda is a fully Bible, but she's very, very traditional when it comes to her beliefs and her spirituality. Tamayam continued with being a Jehovah's Witness, and then he became very staunch. I was about 15 at that time, very, very staunch. Now suddenly, Indo's Amasiko, which he knows, like he started like really, no, it's not that important, blah blah blah. Just keep going to church. I mean, to meetings and. So I eventually, he was not keen. And then there were other reasons that he and I started like drifting apart because of what he did to my mom and how they separated and blah blah blah. And then he like kind of disappeared for a good 2 years, and I didn't speak to him from around 16, 17. So I didn't speak to him for a very long time. But now I need this guy because you're my dad, and this is this thing that I want to do. So I have no choice. Now I need to swallow my pride, and I call him like, yo, bro, I need this from you, and I need your support in this. Uyavuma ne, but uvume ngavumi. So I'm like, yo, what did you do? So I go to my mom. My mom's like, okay, cool, it's fine. If you're not ngafuni, ndingakwenzela mntana wami. Cha thina kufanele ngokusothetha nabantu bakokwenu socela isikhundla. I mean bazocela isikhundla apha emabheleni. You know what I mean, by the way. Umama ngumambhele. So bazocela isikhundla apha emabheleni. Sikwenzele thina singamabhele but sifumene imvume from ozizi ba okay, ayenzele because it's time yakayifuni. And then I eventually went behind his back, went to his cousins, who are Makinana, even to him. Sure. So I went to Simpi, I don't know where, but close to the Kalicha. Do you know that engine garage in Asisiglin? Yeah. So I called my cousin, Sylvia. I'm like, yo, bro, okay, cool, call his dad. I'm like, bro, Nano Sylvia says, okay, my daughter's my dad's name. My daughter. I'm like, bro, maybe if you talk to him, he'll understand a little bit better. And then he was like, okay, cool, is everything alright? I'm like, yeah, everything's fine, but he's not very, he doesn't sound like serious about this thing, the law or But eventually we all went, me and my cousin, we went together, and he was there, but in a more observant capacity. Yeah. Not really contributing as much. And we went in, came out just like any other man, some of the our things, and it's for me it wasn't. I'm very happy that I did it. Sure. Because, bro, can you imagine Indian people like what I would feel like right now? And then I'm you know what I mean? Yes. Oh, my cousin, and now I need to go do something. Like I said, loves Isiko till this day. So now I'm there, but now they're like,
that will even add a layer now.
Yo, no way, bro. Like I couldn't. For me, it wasn't even about Isiko and the tradition. It was more about, it was a selfish decision, but no, man, you're going to deprive me of this thing, of my dignity as a man. Now, fine, there are other cultures and that might look at what we do as Abekhosa. Man, indota, you don't need to do that, blah, blah, blah. But now, doing class at the end of the day. So I can't, even though I'm going to mingle with other people and fine, like my white friends, for example, they didn't understand it. Like, what? Where are you going? Why do you do that? Yeah, bro. Like, so that, and then the chick I'm dating at the time, I was told you, like, she doesn't understand this thing. Like, bro, what? It's fine. You don't have to do that. Just go to men's clinic, I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's not about that thing, just that. There's a whole process, there's a whole process. I need to be involved in this and understand. But say mamela, men's you know what I mean? So Zenia Benaya in his life and all of that stuff. So it's I think I don't know if I'm answering your question, but I had to do it for myself.
You know the feeling. Your team is losing by 1 point. Yeah. And there's 3 seconds on the board. And you hit a 3-pointer and it goes in. Yeah. That 3 seconds. That feeling right there. Channel that and you're gonna know how and what he's going through right now, just explaining it to you.
It's a joy fit, it's a relief, and you just, there's nothing more to walk into a building or a room and know that ndiphelele within myself, wherever you are or wherever you're going. That's what it's gonna give you. But I guarantee you, if you, and to any other young boy out there, if you don't do it, you will constantly have that thing irritating you in the back of your mind. Like, it is this thing, and like confidence will, like you feel it, because you know it, and that's why I was saying it's very important to be honest with yourself and accept yourself. But now, if you accept that part about yourself, I mean, my daughter are not gonna accept it, because at the end of the day, like it's either you do it this way or you never did it.
It's what I always say, Guti. It doesn't matter what people think about you. What's important is what you think about yourself. Yeah. But when it comes to that, it's important what people think about you. Because that's where the level of respect is going to be. That's how they're going to treat you. That's how they're going to talk to you. That's how they're going to view you.
Are you the oldest? Are you just the two of you?
No,
I mean, you're twins, but like,
Yeah,
you have another son. Are you your firstborn?
Yeah.
There's gonna come a time in your family where izinto zabo wena
Taken over to you.
You might go marry a white girl, cool. But there's gonna come a time where your aunties, do you have aunts, women in your family who are much older than you, but they can't do certain things because you know what I mean? And now and then they're not gonna respect you because you know what I mean? So yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. Yeah. Don't
worry, next year we'll have this conversation when you have already joined this bus. So there's a part 2 coming out.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man. Again, in this part of the segment, we ask the guys that you don't get to see that are behind the cam if they have any questions. None. Oh, okay, cool.
Shout out to Meza, man. Meza's in back there. It's his first time coming here, so yeah.
Cool, man.
I actually invited him, so yeah, it's a huge honor for him to come. So yeah.
All right, guys. Anything before we close, Ayakha?
Well, can I send a shout out to people?
Yeah, you can. You can send a shout out.
Shout out to assist. I'm gonna shout out to all the guys in Love, even though it's like a kind of a conflict. It's like a hate-love relationship there, but yeah, I'm getting to know you guys. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to my cousin. I know she won't probably be watching this anytime soon, but
you can send her the link.
Don't make her watch it.
Sooner or later, I'll make her watch it. Her name is Orona. Shout out to her. Shout out to all the people I know. For those I don't mention, I'm sorry, man.
No shout out to your girlfriend.
No, I'm totally single right now.
Okay, slide in his DMs. Give him your Twitters and your DMs on your Facebook.
I'm not on Facebook.
Okay.
Not like that. But we're going to talk about that later on.
I'm sure you want to shout out to your mom, even though she can hear us.
Yeah, shout out to my mom's. Whenever she gets this, shout out to her and that. Yeah, man, my mom made it. Really my first time. So I'll say I still need work to improve, but yeah, man.
Okay, cool. Ndumiso?
Ernest, that's his name.
Ernest. Shout out Ernest.
Shout out Ernest and Oyise Ozzy. We come out. I don't know if you know him. Ozzy. Yeah. Those are like the 2 dudes that are really like street gussy guys who accepted me as I am until this day. Like we're bros for real. So shout out to you guys for just accepting me 100%, and you're the first 2 guys to do that. I appreciate you guys. My beautiful, lovely girlfriend Anile. I love you, baby. Thank you for teaching me so much about the hood. Thank you for introducing me to Ipiano. I love you, dude. I love you so much. And yeah, bro. We're like very. She's a tomboy. She's a tomboy who's like very. Yeah, we tell her that. So I love you, baby. I love you so much. Thanks. Shout out to my dad. I don't know if you're gonna watch this. I'm gonna send in the link though.
Yes,
Shout out to my mom. To my two beautiful sisters, Yolanda, Daddy, Mom, Mom Pele, Pelegas, Mabigani. My dad, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for making me the person that I am today, regardless of whatever challenges came. I can never be upset at them, bro.
Yeah.
I am what I am because of them, and I think we forget that. But Abazang there too, just humans like us, you know what I mean? So I understand that you were once kids yourselves and you had to grow into adulthood, you grow into marriage, and no one teaches you these things. So you did the best you could, and I appreciate everything that you did for me. That's clean.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, man. This is my first podcast ever, dude. I've always wanted to be on a podcast because I always I enjoy talking about very interesting topics and having these conversations, and hopefully, I believe that conversations and dialogue is the way, we dissect in Magazine as a community and find a way forward. So shout out to you, man.
Oh, good.
And shout out to the gang behind the camera. I don't know your names, Luto on the camera.
Got my brother, Meza.
On the sound. What up, man? Sound guys are always the quiet guys. They
Yeah.
never talk. Have you noticed? Headphones.
They're always in their own world.
I just want to say shout out to KC, that's the church. Sorry, I haven't been going to church. I've been just doing this. So, I have to.
I think half of this podcast is going to be shout outs.
Okay, no, we're done. I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks guys for coming and sharing with us. And this is just part of the journey we're going to have, because we would like to bring more people to talk about this and for us to digest this. Because I but it needs to start somewhere so that all the kids can feel welcome in the hood. Regardless if we need to create a space where it's safe for everyone.
Exactly. Yeah.
And people should not be looked at in a certain way because they speak in a certain language or fluent in English. Let's put it is that these kids are fluent in English, they adopt an English living lifestyle. That's what they choose. Not as long as as TKZ would put it. But yeah, that's where we want to leave it, and see you guys soon.
Hopefully this is not the last. This is the first and hopefully not the last time here. Hopefully this guy here can put me in more videos than that. And yeah, I do want to bring that across. I got $1 billion.